Hello, Flosstube. It has been 2 months since my last video. I meant to do one at the end of May, but things got crazy and it just didn't happen. So just a small life update just to let you know why it's been so long. I went on an Alaskan cruise the first week of June, which was fabulous. It was just beautiful. The only bad thing was I came home with COVID. So got home from the cruise, felt horrible, and then got well in time to go to Texas for my son's wedding. So we got to go enjoy that with them. And then we came back from that and it was almost the end of June. So I figured I might as well wait and do a combined May and June together. So I have lots to show you today. So we're just gonna get right into it. I will have to pause here. I've got a cake in the oven. So when the timer goes off, I'll pause, but it won't be any time for you. All right, so May. Oh, I did not write down all my totals for June. So when I go get the cake out, I'll do that and then I'll have the totals for you. In May, I did that 7,945 stitches total. And the first one I'm going to show you, they're everywhere because I have so much to show you, is Star Touched Meadow. This is a Carolyn Manning stitch along, and so we get a new one each month. This is November. This is the first one that came out. And so it's the one I started with, even though I didn't start it until much later than that. And I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. And I do have my board. Oh, I was going to show you finishes first. Well, we'll do that in a minute. So this is where I am. I stitched only 336 stitches on this one in May. I think it was for a prompt in one of my Facebook groups. But I love the colors and it is so vibrant. Okay. You can tell I'm out of practice. Let's do finishes because I actually have 4 fully finished objects. 2 I will have to put pictures in. They were gifts for my son and new daughter-in-law. 1 you have seen the piece finished before, but I just had it framed. And then the other one was a gift for them for their wedding that I had framed. So I will put pictures in of both of those. There's at one of the Hobby Lobbies in my area, there's a gentleman in the framing department that used to own a cross stitch store and did framing for it. So he's the only one I trust to do my framing. So let me show you the other 2. This is a Jeanette Douglas, and I don't remember what it's called. I got these when they were free. So you could get them each month. A new one would come out and it would be free. Oh, I should have taken the plastic off. You can kind of see. And I don't know, I'll try and do a little bit closer. No, sorry, I should have taken that plastic off. Maybe we should do this after my cake timer goes off too. It'll still, I'm afraid it'll still be really glary because it does have glass and I didn't pay for museum glass. Even, it's just so expensive to get it framed. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be much better. Nope, not really. A little bit clearer, but a lot more reflective too. But it's a beautiful piece. And so now I have to figure out where in my house to hang that. And then the other one that I picked up, I've had stitched for a while, and this is Fairy Spring Fling. I'm actually going to leave that on because I think it was a little less glary. By Nora Corbett. And I'll have to figure out where to put this. I have all the other ones. I have started the autumn one, and the others I haven't started, but eventually I'll have them all done. So those are my fully finished, and then I have 1 finished. So this is an old one, and I didn't iron anything. This is Shepherd's Bush. It's called Charmed Hearts. And it was one of my Whip Go calls for June. And I was able to finish it. So I had most of it done. I had to go in and do the lighter colored green leaves. And the back stitch and the beading, and it's kind of hard to see, but there are beads in this vine There's one in the middle of each of those and then one at the end here. And then charms on these hearts in the middle, except for the very middle heart. So I have it all finished. So I just need to iron it. I may try and finish this one myself and mount it on something, because those charms on the hearts are really big, so that would be hard to frame. Okay, that is all of my finishes. So let's get back to my whips. All right, the next one I worked on in May was Pretty Little San Francisco. Again, I think this was for a prompt in one of my Facebook groups. I did 308 stitches on it. And let me show you what the whole thing's gonna look like. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. There. And I'm doing this for my oldest son and daughter-in-law. They went to San Francisco on their honeymoon. So I thought this would be fun for them. And I was working over here on this side. But it's getting close. And actually, this is one of the WIPGO. So I worked on it in May for a prompt in a Facebook group, but it's actually one of my WIPGO calls for July. So I will be working on it some more. All right, the next, I did 308 stitches on that. The next one I worked on was The Adventure Begins, and I will have already shown you a picture of that one completed. That was the one I made for my son and daughter-in-law for their wedding gift. I stitched 2,046 stitches on that one. The next one is A New Start. So this is, I think it stitches so beautiful. This is Woman in a Field of Flowers. And they were doing something where if you stitched on it every week in May, then you would get a free chart. And I'll put a picture in of what it's going to look like. You've probably seen it, but I stitched 1,729 stitches. And I'm still up in the sky. So I have a ways to go before I get into any of the flowers or the woman. But it's just a beautiful pattern. So I don't know when I'll get back to working on that. I've about decided that next year I'm not going to do WIPGO. It's been good to get me working on things that I haven't worked on in a while, but I feel a little bit confined. Like right now I want to work on patriotic stuff, and none of those came up in my WIPGO call. So next year I may just do what I want. All right, the next one is Deadly Aquarium. And this was probably a new start since last time. I honestly don't remember. I'll put a picture in of what we know it looks like so far. I'm way behind. I don't even have the border in, or the aquarium part. She gave us plenty of time. I just have too many different things to work on. And this is on, I haven't been telling you fabric. This is on 32 count Arctic by Picture This Plus. And this is what I have done. So I was trying to make my way down to where the first exhibit was. And I would love to get back to that one too. I get to retire later this year, and so I'm hoping I'll have lots more time to stitch when I do that. I stitched 1,103 stitches on that one. All right, and I think this was, I didn't write down which ones were WIPGO calls, but I think this one, no, this was not a WIPGO call. So I must have been using this for a prompt in a class or in a Facebook group. This is, sorry, I have my notes down here. That's why I'm looking down there. Oh, there's my timer. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And I'll probably be interrupted one more time. The timer will go off to take the cake out of the pan. Hopefully that will be it. Okay, but I wanted to get this in before I started stitching tonight. It's July 1st when I'm filming this, and hopefully I'll get it up on Flosstube tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow. All right, we're still in May. Bord de Mer, I think this was one I did for a prompt on a Facebook group. This is by Madame Lafay, I'm not sure how you say it. This is what it will look like when it's done. And I stitched 762 stitches on it. It is on 32 count Misty Rain by somebody. I don't know. It's got an abbreviation, but I'm not sure who that is. So this is the whole thing. And I was working over here on this coral. That's where I've been working the last couple of times. So I think I told you I did 762 stitches in that coral. So I added a couple more colors to it. This one is one I would like to get done to put in one of my bathrooms where I have a nautical theme someday. And I bought another one by her that is a similar theme that I thought would go well together. All right, next was Riverwalk Charm. This was my full coverage that I worked on in May. I will put a picture in of what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I stitched 1,052 stitches on it. This is probably my, other than the smaller one, this is the biggest full coverage that I have the farthest along, if that makes any sense. And this is on a 28 count, easy count, easy grid. So I was working over here. I'm ready to get down into some more fun things again, instead of just trees. All right, next is a new start. This was my birthday start. Sorry, hopefully it's not too noisy. This is Butterfly Cloche by Hello from Liz Matthews. I love butterflies and I've been wanting to start this one for a long time. My mom and dad gave me this pattern for my birthday last year or the year before, I don't remember. And so I only was able to do 609 stitches on it. Whoops. And it is on 32 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. Hopefully this will show up. So I have a butterfly wing, or most of a butterfly wing. So I really do want to work some more on this. It's such a pretty pattern and I love butterflies. So we'll see. This is why I'm thinking I'm not going to do Whipco next year. Because like right now I want to work on that. And I want to work on a patriotic one. So I'm going to try and finish out Whipco this year though. Okay, that's all of May. Total of 7,945 stitches. Oh, I was looking at the wrong place when we were figuring out. Okay, so yeah, Whipco, it was the Madame Lefay, the Board de Mer was a Whipco call for May. And then the other one for May was the Drawn Thread, but I didn't get to it until June, and that was Butterfly Garden, which is going to look like this when it's done. It's so beautiful, and if you've not ever done a Drawn Thread, they have specialty stitches in them. They're just gorgeous. So let me try and hold this up so you can see the whole thing that I've done. And then I was working over here. So I got a lot of that done. I did 922 stitches. And I've been trying to do the back stitch as I go because I don't want to leave that till later. But there are like lazy daisy stitches for the sunflowers. I don't remember what. Those are just cross stitches. And some of them are over one. So a couple of these little, the dragonfly and the bee are over one. So this, I don't know. It was started so long ago. It was from my old LNS and they didn't put what the fabric was on it, but it might be, no, it's probably not that. It might be just a raw. I'm not sure what the fabric is, but it's probably 32 count. Nope, doesn't go there. All right, so that was my last Whip Go call for May. And then in June, the Whip Go calls were, and I'm doing, in case you're new here, I'm doing designers. I just put designers on my board. My thought was that I wouldn't start another project by designer until I'd finished one. So, Blue Ribbon Designs was one of the calls for June. And for that one, I'm doing, it's called Blue Jeans. Trying to find the one that has the whole picture on it. Here we go. Blue Jeans and Daisies. I started this years ago. So this is nice about Whip Go. It gets, has me working on stuff that I haven't worked on years. Like that Charmed Hearts, that was a Whip Go call for May. I haven't worked on that in years, and I got it finished. This is on the called for fabric, which is a Weeks Dye Works, I think. 30 count blue jeans from Weeks Dye Works. So let me try and show you the whole thing. And so I finished this tree. This was already done, but I finished this tree. And then I came up here and started working on this alphabet. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to my board. This Weeks Dye Works fabrics are pretty thin, or pretty open weave, I guess is a better way of saying it. So they do show through. So I came up here and did these hearts and this alphabet. So it's still a lot to go. But it was fun to get it out and work on it. I did 1,061 stitches on that. And then my other Whip Go call for June, like I said, was Shepherd's Bush, and I already showed you that Charmed Hearts that I finished. All right, then this one I pulled out just for a prompt on Facebook. I needed something that had brown in it. And so this is Acorns by the Blue Flower. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And I stitched, let's see, what is this on? 32 count Bramble by Picture This Plus. So here's the whole thing. I stitched 665 stitches on it, and I was working over here. So I did this squirrel, brought this border down, filled in this leaf, and did this down here. And I'm about to run out of this lighter green and maybe the darker one, so I'm gonna have to go to my L&S, and hopefully the dye lots will match up well enough. This isn't as old as some that I have, so maybe they will. Okay. Then the next one I worked on, and what I've been working on lately, is Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies. I actually do have a picture of this one, because I first bought it as a paper pattern before I knew anything about Pattern Keeper and digital patterns. So that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. I am attempting to participate in the Tour de France on the Full Coverage Fanatics page. And so you have to stitch on the same full coverage for the whole thing. Oh, there's my timer again. I'll be back. Okay, hopefully that was the last interruption. So as I was saying, I am trying to do the Tour de France within the Full Coverage Fanatics group. And so I'm doing, I think it's called the green jersey, which is just climbs maybe. I didn't want to try and do it every day because one, I probably wouldn't be able to get that many stitches in every day for the whole thing. And two, I want to work on some other things during the month too. So I have picked out Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies to work on. So in June, I stitched 1,039 stitches on this. So I also did it, I think it was my full coverage for June anyway, and then I just decided to keep working on it. This is my closest to a finish. So there's a partial page down here, and then this is the edge here. So just that much left. And I've been working over here. and some down here too. So I'll continue to work on this in June, as long as the Tour de France goes on, which I think in July. I'll be working on it in July for the Tour de France. I don't think it goes through the whole month of July, so I did go ahead and spin my wheel for another full coverage. So if I'm tired of working on this one, then I can pull that one out, which I'll show you in plans. All right, and then the last thing I wanted to show you, these are what I've been working on at lunch. So I stitched with some friends at lunch for about 30 minutes. And I don't count those stitches. Sometimes if I need something for that prompt, you know, that pattern will fill a prompt, then I'll go and count. But usually I'm just stitching on it at lunch, and so I don't know how many stitches I have on these. I did finish. So these are the 12 monthly minis from Primrose Cottage. And so my friends and I are stitching these together as a stitch along, just the three of us. And so we started May 1st with June, hoping we would get it done by the end of May. And then we started July after that. I did not iron these. This is on Picture This Plus, 32 count Heartland. So I did finish the June one. This is a really pretty, that's a better representation of the fabric. So that was fun. I could have counted that for the strawberry, there was a stitch along, strawberry moon stitch along. And then I've been working on July, and it is on, sorry, let me get this hanging thread kind of out of the way more. It is on 32 count Heroic by Picture This Plus. And it is getting close. So Heroic has some nice blues and reds in it. So I just have to finish the white and the flags, and I think one more flower, and then the blue at the end of each flag, and that's it. So even with only working on it at lunch, it should be done probably this week. Probably this week I'll get it finished. Okay. That's everything that I worked on in May and June. In June, I only had 4,542 stitches total, not counting those monthly minis that I don't count the stitches on. But that was, I had a cruise, and I stitched maybe a little bit. I don't even know if I stitched any on the way there. I could have stitched on the airport coming back, because we had like 12 hours in the airport that we were waiting. Once the tour dropped us off, we had about 12 hours before our flight left, but I wasn't feeling good, so I didn't even pull it out. Okay, so planned. Let me get to that page in my planner. Let me find it. It always takes me a minute. That's somewhere there are July plans. They're here. I know they are because I wrote them down. Here they are. Okay. So the my two Whipco calls were chatelaine. I have not worked on this one in a long time, so I was really excited to pull this out. Oh, it's way behind me. And I think I have a picture in here. So this is the Paris mandala. I forgot to unzip that one. So this is what it's going to look like someday. I did this when it came out years and years and years ago, when it came out as a mystery stitch along. I don't know if it was a mystery. It may not have been a mystery, but where you just got one piece at a time. And I chose the one with different buildings. So you could get one that had the same buildings on all four sides, or the one that had different buildings, four different sides. And I chose the one with different. I think the reason, now, chatelaine, if you haven't done these, I've done small ones, and they were okay. I did them fine. You do want to have a digital copy. It makes it easier to see the back stitching and the specialty stitches, and you can blow it up if you need to. the thing that I think keeps me from working on this one more, I love it. I love the way it looks. But those Eiffel Towers are 90% back stitching. I don't know if I can get it unrolled enough to, there we go. Let me get my, so I have this on my, whoa, sorry about that, my scroll rod. So it's kind of unwieldy. But see that Eiffel Tower? It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Mostly backstitch. So very time consuming and I don't know, not easy. All right, let me see if I can roll that up some. So I've got these buildings done on this side. I have no idea what you can see. The center, now I'm not doing any of my beading until I'm done. So that center, this is all done except for beading. And I've been working on this building over here, which I don't remember which one that is. So I'm excited to pull this out and work on it some more. I'm glad it came up in WhipGo because I haven't worked on it in quite a while. I will probably try and get as much on that building done as I can. When I get that building done, the next time I work on it, I may try and just do all of the Eiffel Towers, just get them done. So when I get kind of the rhythm of where the back stitching is, because of course it's not, to get those nice lines, it's not on the threads like you, it's not like an even, you know, right across one square. It's like, you may go across 5 squares vertically and only 1 square horizontally. So it's a challenge. So I may just try and get all 3 of those done when I start working on the next Eiffel Tower. I may do the other 2 also, just to get them done. So that's one of my WhipGos. The other one was Satsuma Street, and I already showed you that. That was Pretty Little San Francisco. I would love to get another finish, so we'll see if I can do that. Again, the full coverage, I'm working on that. Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies for the Tour de France. If I am tired of it by the time the Tour de France is over and want to work on another full coverage, then the one that the wheel spun was Sea Opal. So I'll put a picture in of what it will look like when it's finished. And this is where I am now. So I started this one Royal Rose. Sorry, no, I started it diagonal, and now I'm changing it over to Royal Rose. And it's not really coming out. There's some real pretty bright colors in there. It's not coming out as well on the camera, it doesn't look like. But it is all blues and blue-greens, so after all of the oranges and reds I'm doing on Quick Stitch Psyche's Butterflies, that'll be a nice change. All right, and then so I always do, I have my 2 WhipGos. I do a full coverage where I spin the wheel and see what it's going to be. And then I do a miscellaneous. And so my miscellaneous was Cricket Collection. Sorry, hopefully this won't be too crinkled. This is one that was a kit that we got at Silver Needle when I went to one of their summer events years ago. And I don't know if there's a year on here, but it comes with everything you need. It's R&R linen. Let me see if I can see where it says. No, I don't see where it says. But I just worked on it a little bit at the event, so I have very little done. So if I have time, once I get my WhipGos done and my Tour de France, then this is what I will work on. And I may go ahead, even though it's Halloween, I don't know, I might work on it, I might not, I don't know. I really kind of want to get my Santa's house out from Cottage Garden sampling for Christmas in July. So we'll see. All right, now I have some haul because, you know, it's been 2 months, so I have some haul to share. So I ordered this the other day. These are the pins that go with those monthly minis that I showed you, the June and the July that I've got done and almost done. They're from Just Another Button Company, and so I'm planning on making mine into a pillow. I actually bought the finishing kit, which is just the fabric from Primrose Cottage, and so I'm planning to make them all into little pillows using that, and then I have the little pins to stick in there. And then Primrose Cottage had some new ones out, so I had to get them. There might be one I didn't get. I'll have to see. Anyway, this is Honey Bees and Stitching Please. Someday I want to have a bunch of bee patterns to put in my dough bowl or on a tiered tray for August. This is Honey Bee Basket and Summer Quaker, which I'll probably find, let's see, what does it use? It uses Saffron by Dinky Dyes. I don't know. I'll find a good overdyed, probably not a silk though. And then Hands On Design had some new ones. I had to get them. I love her stuff. This is Shiny Objects. This uses color and cotton fabric, threads, which I don't have. She always puts in a DMC conversion. Gather Memories. So this is the second one in this little series. Really sweet. And then the Gather Around, this is Gather Around Summer, Gather Butterflies. Again, I love butterflies, so you knew I was going to get this one. This just uses DMC. Okay. Then October House Fiber Arts. I'm trying to do them in a little bit of, that goes with that, by designer. I don't know why, just because. This is Garden Sass. I just love that floral basket and the borders, and let's see what this is. So it uses overdyed, Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. They use 36 count Blueberry Milkshake by Grace Notes. So I don't think my LNS has Grace Notes, so I'll find something else. This is Blueberry Ridge in Nature. Another floral. I love that big dragonfly and the colors in it. It uses overdyed also. And it uses Sampler Khaki by XJU design for the fabric. So I'll find something for that too. Then I bought several from Pansy Patch Quilts. This is the new basket. This is Betsy's Patriotic Basket. It also uses overdyed, all Crescent Colorworks and one Weeks Dye Works, it looks like. And my LNS has been putting these on different fabrics, so I asked her when I picked this up, I said, have you figured out what fabric you're going to put this on? And they are doing it on Heroic, so I went ahead and bought some Heroic for that. And then the next two, this is 6 and 7 of the houses on Wisteria Lane, Cappuccino House. I think I have all the rest. I'll have to double check and make sure. I know some came out at Market, and I don't know how to say that. It's French patisserie. I don't know. Whoop, try and get it so you can see the chart better. And then I got the latest in the Fabulous House series from Cottage Garden Samplings. This is House Barn. Look at those sunflowers. Aren't those beautiful? And then I picked up, they were doing Silver Mist. So I picked up the fabric and then the threads, but I forgot to get 2 of each, so I'm going to have to go back and get another one. Because I like to try and pick up the overdyed when I get the fabric in the pattern. And then, and I get 2 usually, because that's usually on 32 count. If you're doing 2 over 2 on 30 count, that's what they suggest. So And you certainly don't want to run out of overdyed. And then I've got placed an order with another LNS that's not quite as local to me, the Silver Needle in Tulsa. So my LNS is Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock, Arkansas. And then I do go to events in Tulsa at the Silver Needle, and so I'll order from them every once in a while. And they had a new mystery something from Just Nam that I ordered, and so while I was doing that, I ordered a few other things. So these are some new Plum Street. This is Quack Stack, the little ducks. And We Remember, this has got a cat with poppies. So pretty. And then There Is Liberty. That's a bigger one. It will take a while to do that one. And there's a song with that. So every time I see this one, I start singing that song in my head. And then a couple of Tiny Modernist. I don't have too many of theirs, but these ones I just really thought were cute. So Christmas Terrarium. So I'll have to find a good dark fabric to do that. And then Halloween Terrarium. I thought they were fun. Something different. And then I did get my fabric of the month. I'll try and show you without being too crinkly. This is May's. I'm in their neutral club, and I get a 32 count. So this linen, this is Gray Magic, which is a real nice gray. Ooh, I wonder if that would work for, I bet that would be good for that. And then June's is Mocha. I just love their fabric. It's so pretty. Oh, I forgot to show you one thing. With the Primrose Cottage, they had a bee needle minder. I had to get it. Okay, I think that is everything. So hopefully I will be back in 1 month. I don't know of anything going on that will keep me from coming back in a month. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed what I showed you, and I will see you in a month. Bye.